Yo, what's up? Just got up. I'm gonna do some VRs, video requests. So, this one's from Chance Votful. Chance Votful wants to know, hello Kyle, a video request. Did the aliens leave any writings or communications that we can review? Like any hieroglyphics that have been translated into English, or any radio astronomy decoded transmissions from this extraterrestrial, from the extraterrestrial sky scan project at the giant Arecibo radio telescope dish in Puerto Rico, or decoded symbols from Roswell fragments or other forms of DNA encoded or vibration encoded messages or other forms of communication that have been decoded that we can review in English? Thank you. Your eternal optimism and straightforward comments on all subjects are much appreciated. Well, thank you, that Chance of the thoughtful. Yeah, they have left some messages. The one that comes to my mind the most quickest is this one, SETI. Those are the ones you guys are talking about. The when you said the Arecibo radio telescope. SETI, I think, uses telescopes in more than one place, although I'm not totally sure. SETI, you know, the lady who, the place that Jodie Foster worked at, and was in charge of in that movie, Contact. Yeah, they sent out a message once in their radio frequency, and they haven't gotten anything back in terms of radio frequency, because, and there are radio frequencies out there that have been sent from aliens, but it's just so few and far in between. You know, it has to come in when somebody's sitting there manning it, and the chances of that happening are like finding a needle in a haystack in that way, because you're trying to communicate with aliens along our same technological level, but there's other aliens with a higher technology level. And so one of those SETI guys, they sent out a message, and exactly 1 year to the day later, in the middle of a torrential rainstorm, this is in England, a big alien head appeared in the grass right next to the SETI telescope. And I actually have the picture of it here on my website. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, it was a crop circle, and the crop circle was had inside throughout the alien head. I mean, this is some really technical shit, dude. Inside the alien head, they had Morse code, and the Morse code said something along the lines of don't listen to everything they tell you, or something like that. You know, like think for yourself type of a thing. And yeah, that was pretty cool. If I find it, I'll show you. I should have thought about this before. Okay, now other messages. I haven't been keeping up with the whole alien phenomenon for like the last 4 years, because I've been doing history instead. And I can't do too many things at the same time. But there have been stuff in the... Well, let me give you my personal story with that kind of stuff. I had, back in like 2000, I had a crack in my windshield. This is like March 2000. That had been there for like 4 years, or two or 3 years. And it had been steadily getting bigger, and it went from one end all the way to about 4 inches from the other end. And one morning I got up, and it was gone. Here's the crop circle. Here's the alien head, so that's what they really look like. And there's the decoded message. It's like a disc. And it said, oh man, I thought I had it, what he said, written down there, but apparently I didn't. But yeah, it said something along the lines of, make sure that, don't listen to what they tell you. Anyways, if you type that, Google that, you'll find the maybe I'll even put the link to it. But yeah, one day the crack was gone, and then 2 days later my gaped teeth had come together and all this gum was coming down. So I think aliens, that's basically the kind of messages they give. And of course crop circles. Crop circles give all kinds of messages. I'll do the link to my crop circle page. It's got some text information, but it's mainly just whatever those pages are called. We have a bunch of pictures thrown together. So they have lots of messages from aliens, like, like they have ones with those things that have the star in the middle and then the solar system. They have like maps of all the solar systems that the aliens live in, and shows where they live and all that crazy shit. For some reason, I can't find my words today. I didn't do any drugs recently. But they have all sorts of other messages, like this one. That's the division of a cell of the DNA, like showing how we're going to mutate and stuff. And then there's just different messages. Like from the past, the Dogon tribe back in the year 700. These guys are in the southern part of, near Timbuktu, southern part of the Sahara Desert in Chad. And they had legends of these aliens who went into there and talked to them and said that they were from the Sirius and they're from a planet that revolves around. There's a star that revolves around the Sirius star every 50 years, and they're from a planet that revolves around the big star, and they're related to the dolphins and stuff. And so the Dogon tribe wrote this on the back of their cave, and they have been having that legend ever since. And all of the people in native people from all over the world have legends of aliens coming down from the Seven Sisters, the Pleiades. There's that movie Xanadu, starring Olivia Newton-John in the 70s, about an alien. She's an alien that comes from the Pleiades. And we've got... now, if on my website, I have all the world Bibles written on my website. And a lot of them, I had to delete a lot of them because iPower was lying to me on how much bandwidth I have. Space I have. But you can even download the audio version from those Bibles. But if you look at the Bibles, they all have legends of like the first kings coming from gods. And even if you look at the Wikipedia article from the beginnings of any city-state, in Greece, like the guy who founded Athens was descendant of a god, a guy who founded a new tribe, descendant of a god. They're all just supposed to be descendants of gods. And not just Europe, Japan, China. And they have the reigns of the gods as like hundreds of thousands of years. Middle East, everywhere, dude. So if you want to like listen to messages of aliens, the best thing you want to do is just take a few steps back and look at the big picture. And then think, what would you do if you were in the position of an alien? Also there's channelers, like the channeler Bashar. If you want to know what it's like to talk to a real live alien, just talk to Bashar. Just type in Bashar channeler. And they'll talk. He answers all sorts of questions, and that's like what's talking to him. And sometimes he channels another guy, so you can see the differences in personality between the aliens. It's Sasani that he channels. And Jane Roberts, she's a trance channeler. She channels like spirits. But let's get the rest of the request here. Computer's a piece of shit. A lot of the times when I try to switch back to another window, it doesn't do it. You guys have that problem with your fucking computers? So now I'm fucked. Here we are. Okay. Here, I'll just read it. Yeah, hieroglyphics. And in Egypt. Well, one thing, if you just want to be a believer, just look at all the monoliths. You know, like there's a monolith in Egypt called the Ramses statue, and it's lying down, and it's a museum that's built around it because they can't stand it up. So how do they build it and stand it up in those days? But we can't now. It's huge. Oh man, maybe I should go to the picture of that too. Now my computer's a piece of shit. It'll take forever to get there. But yeah, and then all the the pyramids and the monoliths and everything. But as far as the message decoded, there's the flower of life. I think when aliens would communicate with us, they would communicate with us in symbols. You know, like the flag, national flag of their solar system with the crop circles and then sacred geometrical stuff, because that's kind of the new language. You know, it's like words. Ooh. Words are kind of like pumping information into you, like you're a robot, like you're a inanimate object. You can't think for yourself. It's better to just give somebody a big picture and let them figure it out for themselves. Because if you don't let people figure shit out for themselves, then they're never gonna grow up, dude. And you're gonna get a nation of people with all this technology who are like little kids trying to kill each other with it. It's good to keep people thinking, but let's see if I can find this Ramses. Let's see here. It's been so long since Egypt pyramids, Egypt statues. Here we are. Okay, yeah, it's 100 tons. The Ramses ping statue. Apparently, I have the picture on private, so I can't show it. Silly me. But I'll have to go in and unprivate those. A bunch of my pictures magically got privated all of a sudden. Goblins in the computer, man. Having a big website like me is a pain because the goblins are always getting in there, changing font sizes, privating your pictures, you know, fucking shit up. It's amazing, man. Making whole folders go away. But anyways, that's something else. So, Arecibo, that's Peru. Yeah, they've got a lot of those dishes in like Peru, especially in Chile, doing that. Yeah, so that kind of a thing. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the flower of life in Egypt. It's all the rings and then the concentric rings around each other. There's a flower of life, I think, burnt in the side of the Temple of Abydos in Egypt. That's burnt in there with like a high temperature, like burning device that we haven't even invented. Machine. We'd have to specially try to invent the machine to even do that now, and so there's no way those cavemen could do it. And so yeah, that was a message, and the flower of life is basically just illustrates the pathway of energy going throughout spheres, and that's has to do with some cosmic knowledge, astrology and how vortexes and planets and stuff like that. But as far as like other DNA encoded, vibrational encoded messages, there's probably been some stuff done with crop circles. Crop circles get more and more complicated every year, so the new ones probably have stuff like that. Crop circles have other DNA crop circles out there. I already changed the picture, the page that I was in. Ooh. But yeah, there are some DNA crop circles, just showing that our DNA is expanding and we're mutating into getting some more silicone-based strands, so we can absorb more energy from the cosmos and be psychic and use more of our brain and change our actual physical structure to be more crystalline and lighter and everything. But there's not straightforward messages from aliens.
unless you're gonna kind of get up off your ass and like look for it yourself, like by asking a psychic a specific question, and then they'll give you whatever answer you need. I've been to some psychics. I went to a psychic once who was really good, and she doesn't channel aliens, but she channels spirits, which is kind of the same thing, like aliens, like Bashar says, when their aliens die, they can still communicate with their spirits. So communicating with the dead, communicating with aliens, it's kind of along the same level of consciousness. Like when you die, you really take a step back and you can look at the earth and see like the history of the earth and see, the differences between all the different, races and cultures, and like you'll basically become enlightened and then filled with all this energy and excited, and then you get reborn again as a cute little baby, and then you get programmed into thinking that nothing exists except for the earth and grumpy people, and that animals don't even have souls and all this stupid shit. But yeah, if you want to talk about like aliens talking to us directly, yeah, there's only a certain amount of stuff that they're allowed to tell us. I've noticed that. I used to listen to all those Bashar interviews, and people would ask him, and he'd be like, well, what I can tell you is there's definitely like an alien group of people out there, a board of directors that say what they can and can't tell us. And he gave an analogy that if they tell us too much, it's kind of like getting a big gear that's going really fast and jamming it into a gear that's going really slow. You'll just break it all. So, and that kind of makes sense, like if we were to have a bunch of aliens land, all the people would get out their guns and shoot at them. In fact, that's happened. They've done the tests plenty of times. They have the alien fly over and then they shoot at them. They have our jets chase after them and shoot at spaceships, and then I think somebody said on Coast to Coast 3,000 of our jets have disappeared that way. They've gobbled up a jet once, and they never saw the pilot again. And that kind of stuff. They've shut down jets and made one guy crash, and he had to eject. Remember the new Superman movie where he smashed the $13 million drone down on the ground in front of the general? Well, that's very indicative of real life. If you look at movies, there's all kinds of relationship between movies and real life because, our subconscious just connects everything, and that's basically what the aliens are doing. They're like, don't be spying on us, man. Like, we could kill you. Don't fuck with us. if we want you to know something, we'll let you know, or you ask us, but don't shoot at us, or we'll make an example of a few of your jets by disabling them. Yeah. There's even a YouTube video of one shooting a laser beam at a missile and exploding it, and that looked pretty damn cool. I like to believe that. But anyways, yeah, aliens aren't gonna just give us information. That's like giving somebody the magical code to a video game, and then you get into God mode in the video game. I mean, how long are you gonna be interested in a game like that? You'll get bored pretty damn quick. That's like Grand Theft Auto. Your brain's not going to evolve. The joy comes in the growth and people's brains thinking and figuring stuff out for themselves. Like if you look at all the technology with the Earth, a lot of it was given to us, but most of it, I think, people just figured it out from themselves. Maybe because they got messages from aliens in their dreams or something, but we figured it out for ourselves, and that's the best way. So you don't really need to get messages from aliens, specific messages. Just follow your heart. That's all you have to learn how to do. But the only way to learn how to follow your heart is by following your heart. You're not going to learn how to follow your heart with a manual instruction booklet. You can learn how to follow your heart by standing up for yourself against like bully teachers and not being a follower and just being yourself, and not following money and just doing stuff that will feed your brain, and then that will help us we can all figure it out ourselves. And if you open your mind, that's an amazing thing. If you consider every single possibility, like you believe it for a second, put yourself in suspended disbelief, like people do in movies all the time. I don't know what the fucking big deal is with normal people out there, but if you consider it and you can believe it, then you can understand. You can see everything that reality is connected to, and then you can and then you can follow that and follow that, And then if you get so immersed in that kind of mindset, then you'll realize that that's actually real and that you will believe it. Believing in stuff that's like dark and dead end, like Armageddon, or you're dead after you die, your soul's dead after you die, and all that kind of shit. That's not going to lead to any other imagination, and it's just a dead end, and it's not going to fill your soul with any joy, and so you're not going to go anywhere with it. So then you can't grow. But whatever you're thinking about and learning new things, and you're growing, then that's the messages from the aliens. It's basically your own mind opening up to the entire cosmos. Because we can't. I mean, it's like the internet. You want to get any information you want from the computer. Well, you can do that from the cosmos. Anything, more than the internet. You could know what Jesus Christ looked like, his face. You just have to open up your mind, and then it'll like shoot you to another reality, which will shoot you to another reality. But you have to start by opening your mind and considering stuff reality. And that's even the negative stuff, but that's kind of like but then you would be imagining a parallel universe because you're believing in reality. And then you can figure out what got you to that reality. And what led to it, and then so you can find out like what kind of mindset in this world would lead to a fucked up reality. So yeah, you don't really need messages. But one book that I remember, it's called The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and it's on my website. And I don't really know the history behind it. I think people are trying to cover it up, but I think it may be like these emerald tablets that were found in Egypt that were thousands of years old, and they translated it. And that text that tells about Atlantis, it tells about the ancient god beings, and all kinds of magical shit. Let's read that. And then the Bible of the Incans, they talk about Atlantis, how the people came there after Atlantis. They even call it Atlantis. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, the information's there. Yeah, I have links to the Mahabharata and all the Bibles about aliens, references to aliens, but I never finished it. I need to finish that. I abandoned it. I thought I finished it. I think something got screwed up. But anyways, so that's that. Thanks for the request. Cool request. Peace out.